do. Unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. I gotta be honest with you, that game drove me nuts. I cannot believe the Buccaneers lost that game. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Tough one. Man, that was an absolute blazer from Cooch, wasn't it? What a crazy game. The Bulls are bowl-bound for the third season in a row. An incredible performance. And listen, we know the competition. They did what they had to do. No more silver linings. No more moral victories. It was put up or shut up time. And boy, did they rise to the occasion.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Recher podcast here, April 20th, 2026. Hope you and yours are doing well. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I am everywhere. I hope you are too. Happy 420 to those who celebrate. I totally forgot about that until I saw this morning. So for everybody that celebrates a day like today, put them up in the sky. Make sure you don't puff and drive. Just be safe. I hope everybody is well, man. I really do. Make sure, again, you follow me at Recher on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I am everywhere. Like and subscribe on YouTube as well. And make sure you hit that like button, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and also here on TikTok as well. Plenty to get into on the program today, including game one of the first round matchup between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. Nobody, and the Rock means nobody, is going to break down this game like us right here on the program. Big thank you to our partners, Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, 813-244-0956 for all your residential and commercial needs. Of course, EverHealth as well. The EverHealth Injury Report every Thursday with Dr. Carlos Rodriguez. Share this on all your social media platforms. Again, make sure you're out there supporting the cause. Go get you some Recher podcast merch. The link is up. The store is up. We cannot do this without you guys right here. piratesbayprinting.com/the_J_Recher_podcast/shop/home. It's just easier if you just go to the website. If you just come and click on the link right here in the chat, right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Benny, did anybody else listen to Dan Patrick? No, I did. I was watching WrestleMania, and I did a really good job of avoiding all social media platforms, all of them, so that I could watch the half of WrestleMania Sunday last night, the other half today. I just finished watching CM Punk and also Roman Reigns. So all the things I liked and didn't like about WrestleMania a little bit later on in the show. Right here, Chan, Lightning need an injection of discipline. You got that right. They need a huge injection of discipline. We'll break it all down in about 2 minutes. A crazy week. I'm still feeling it right now. I got to be honest with you. I'm still tired as hell. Long weekend for me. Saturday morning, 7:30 in the morning. Julie Stewart-Binks and I, we met up at the incredible Premier League Mornings Live event at Armature Works. Bro, incredible. Tampa Bay showed up and showed out. So proud of everybody that was out there. Then we had 2 games in Bradenton, so I had to drive down there for that. We won 11-1, then 17-1, and then yesterday, same thing. I'm there at 8:30 in the morning, go down, semifinals of our championship tournament, 11-1, and then we won 6-5. Shout out DDD1133. Good. Hey, Coach Go Scout, you got that right. 6-5 walk-off win. We were down 5-2 in the last inning. We scored 4 in the last inning to win 6-5. Chico Anderson with the walk-off double. Unfreaking believable weekend. And I just got to give a shout-out real quick before we get into everything to my USA Scout team. My guy Grayson is hurt, wasn't able to play, but he was still there supporting the team. Our guy Talon was in a basketball tournament, but he was there in spirit. Our guy Danny Gutcher, the assistant coach, doing an incredible job. And then Owen Manship, Will Howard, Alex Cole, my guy AJ Acevedo, Tommy Wallace doing a great job as well. Dan Greco's son, rather, Chase Greco, Charlie Cash, Jack Lehman, Mitchell Sadis, and then again, I said Chico Anderson. Unbelievable job by my guys. I don't know if you got, a lot of people were talking about coaching. Guys, this team, when I first joined up with them last season, we lost our first 7 games by a combined score of 75-30. 75-30. And now we've won 2 tournaments in a row. It's just an incredible achievement for these young guys. And just the families, and when people trust in you and you really give everything you have to something and you see the reward, it's worth the drive back to Benchmark International Arena to rush my ass there to get there. And I got there right before the national anthems, which was cool. And everybody was like, man, you're really underdressed. Not really underdressed, but I wasn't wearing a suit and tie. Listen, when you're out and you're hot as hell coaching baseball, yeah, dude, you got to I'm not wearing a suit and ties. Not happening. Guys, I want to hear from you. Questions, comments, concerns, whether you're here on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Again, shout out to my team as well. Happy Monday, Jay Bird. If we keep making stupid penalties, it's going to be a quick out for us. Their power play is lethal. On a brighter note, Liverpool is now 3 points from you. We're coming for you, Jay. Shout out to Dan Greco, our guy, checking us out on the program. Greg DeCruz, such an amazing sports weekend. Flyers win, Brock retires, Malott KOs in Winnipeg. Again, thank you, Chan, for the $5 super chat. Hey, only way we're gonna keep this thing going is if you guys go on the website and order some stuff, order some merch, and then also the super chats like Chan, $5. I appreciate you, buddy. Shout out to Dan. Greg DeCruz, is Brock a top 5 athlete of all time? UFC, wrestling, and he played briefly in the NFL. Listen, I tell you what, if the aliens come down here and try to take our lives, I mean, Brock is the guy we're sending to the front line. No doubt about it. Shout out to Hammer. Tampa Sports Only. Montreal's a fiend on power plays. We got to stop taking penalties. Devin Garnett. Devin was on his he had the hoods up last night. He was looking like Beavis in the Butthead with the cornholio thing. They did whatever they could to try to help this team win. I love it. Bolts need to clean up the penalties and the defense. You got that right. Okay, let's get right into it. This Tampa Bay Lightning loss, because again, we are going to talk about this here unlike anybody else here in the Tampa Bay area. That's not talking shit. That's just the reality of the situation. I cover this team every damn game, and we're not just going to talk about the low-hanging fruit and the same old shit that anybody else can talk about. All right, we'll get the main topic out of the way. We're not going to bury the lead. You can't take stupid-ass penalties, especially in the offensive zone. You can't do that. Jake Gensel, Connor Geeky, Anthony, what are we doing, fellas? Nikita Kucherov takes a penalty. What are we doing? You want to talk about discipline. You want to talk about being the more experienced team, the more team that's all right. I've been there, done that. Yeah, that didn't look like it last night. And you still almost won the game. It's funny. And again, this is not something that you're going to hear from anybody else. So I'm walking out of the arena last night, and I run into the great Paul Kennedy, and I run into Braden Coburn. And they watched the post-game press conference because, we were in the building there, and Coop was pissed. Pissed. So I say to Kobe, I go, Coop was pissed about the penalties. And he goes, I don't think they were pissed. He was pissed about the penalties. Now, listen to what I'm about to say right here. Because, again, you're not going to hear this from anybody else here today. Coop wasn't pissed about the penalties. Coop was pissed about Slavkovsky. Coop was pissed that he had all that time. His coaching staff had all that time to thwart that Montreal power play, to shut them down, just like they did a couple of weeks ago in Montreal when they did a really good job of killing penalties. And Slavkovsky ate them alive. Kudos to Montreal for when everybody said draft Shane Wright with that first overall pick a couple of years ago. They went with Slavkovsky, and people said, are you sure? Is that skill going to be able to translate to the NHL? And if you look at Slavkovsky right now and you saw his play in the Olympics, that dude's a problem. And he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. His release, I mean, it's up there with Austin Matthews for best in the game. It's that good. That is not hyperbole, because you look at that last shot that went in overtime, bro, he released that puck so quickly and snapped that damn thing so fast past Andrei Vasilevsky. I mean, that one, I mean, shit, man. You could barely see it. So when everybody wants to say Cooper was mad about the stupid penalties, yeah. But the frustration that you saw in the press conference last night, I think that was frustration knowing we got to do something because that kid is a problem. And I said this on the show last week before anybody else knew who the hell Slavkovsky was here in the Tampa Bay area that doesn't follow hockey. I watched them 2 weeks ago at Morning Skate, him and Cole Caulfield. And Cole Caulfield was pretty quiet in that game last night. And the chemistry that they have is very similar to the chemistry that Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos had when he was here. And again, different players, right? But just saying, when you watch them play, and then obviously you add in a guy like Nick Suzuki in the middle, that could be one of the best lines in the National Hockey League. And I'll tell you right now, if the Lightning don't figure it out how to stop him, there's going to be a short series, and it's not going to go in favor of the Bolts. So for all the talk about, oh, it's the penalties, you got to be more disciplined. Yes, of course. But I'm not going to hop on this show and talk about the same old shit that everybody else is. You got to stay disciplined. You got to stay out of the backs. Duh. Of course. But even if you do take penalties, you got to kill them. You can't give up 3 power play goals. And I know they got 2 back on the other side, but still the power play doesn't look as crisp, does it? Radish doesn't shoot the puck unless it's on the one-timer. Oliver Bjorkstrand had the same vantage point that I did. He was sitting behind me in the press box. I liked going into the game that John Cooper went with Connor Geekie and Dominic James. I liked that because I thought after what we saw Connor Geekie do in that game where he pulled away on the breakaway and was able to score, all right, the kids learned. Get him out there. But if he's going to, in that playoff game, take a stupid offensive zone penalty, bro, that's the kind of thing that not only gets your ice time cut, but also get your ass plastered up in the press box next to me. You can't do that. You cannot do that. As much as you look at Jake Gensel and Anthony Cirelli and Nikita Kucherov, and like you would think that those guys are going to clean that up. Like Connor Geekie, dude, you cannot be a subtraction at all. Dominic James comes back. He's banged up. Everybody's holding their breath as he gets tied up in the middle of the ice. And you start wondering, did they bring him back too soon? Lighting on the ice for practice day at Benchmark International Arena. No Charlie Wardestu, Pontus Holmberg, or Victor Hedman. Even though Victor Hedman was out there earlier today. Just going through some different things on here to make sure I don't miss anything. So no Charlie Wardestu, no Pontus Holmberg, no Victor Hedman. Jonas Johansson and Brandon Halverson on the ice. No Andrei Vasilevsky as well. So for all the talk about the penalty kill or taking penalties in the unceremonious infractions, there's a couple other things too that need to be pointed out. Now, if Charlie Wardestu can't play, I got faith that they'll go to JJ. I mean, they'll go to Max Crozier, in my opinion. Max Crozier has experience playing with Emil Lilleberg. We saw that Emil Lilleberg played some of his best hockey with Max Crozier last year. So it'll be Moser and Radish. It'll be McDonough and Chernak, and it'll probably be, if Destu can't go, Lilleberg and Crozier. Victor Hedman out there earlier today skating. the team announced yesterday that he's going to be back around the team, but they don't know if he'll be back. I don't see him getting back in and playing. Yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment on the whole Hedman thing until after the season. We'll see what happens when everything comes out about what happened with Victor Hedman. But I look at two guys last night, and I look at Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point, and it is now 16 straight playoff games. 16 straight playoff games for Nikita Kucherov without a goal. And I know people will say, well, you know, he gets his assist, he gets his points. You have to put the puck in the back of the net. If you're one of the top 5 players in the league, you got to put the puck in the back of the net. And at the end of the game yesterday, when they ran a couple of design plays off of the faceoff and Nikita Kucherov missed the net, you cannot miss the net. 3 power plays you didn't score on, you have to score a goal. That's it. Braden Point has got to find the groove. Braden Point blasting into the zone and then pulling up every single time. Listen, if they know that you're not going to drive to the net, if they know you're not going to take the puck behind the net, you're so freaking predictable. So predictable. This team is only going to go as far as Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov take them. We always want to talk about the depth players and, you know, how the stars cancel each other out. Well, do they? Is that what you saw in game 1? You know what I saw in game 1? I saw number 38 on the Tampa Bay Lightning, Brandon Hagel, playing like a possessed demon on the ice. Go back and watch the goal that he scored on the power play. When he goes to the front of the net, and I don't even know if he was like, that was part of the plan. He just muscled his way in there, and he just said, screw this. I'm going to go to the dirty area, and I'm going to put my stick down, and I'm going to score a goal. That's exactly what he did. If you rewind the tape 30 seconds before, you see Brandon Hagel at the left point, banging his stick on the ground, demanding the puck from Darren Radish. He wants the puck. That's what this Lightning team needs from their top guys. They need guys that want the puck. Don't tell me that it's all about the depth players. Your best players have to be your best players in the playoffs. Uri Slafkovsky scored 3 goals last night. Josh Anderson was a pain in the ass all game long, and he scored a goal last night. The Lightning have to be better. I love my guy JJ Moser. He's not played well the last couple of weeks. We got to keep it 100. Love the guy. Love him. Great dude. But Mo has not played his best hockey the last 6 weeks. He's not. And he didn't play well last night either. I don't give a shit what the metrics say. Everybody goes 5-on-5, or the analytics say this. Take the analytics, shine them up real nice, turn that sumbitch sideways, and stick them straight up your candy ass. That's what I have to say about analytics. Go out there and play the freaking game. If you're going to tell me you know hockey because of what some stat tells you instead of what your eyes tell you, go have a conversation with the wall. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Because the stats could probably tell me that Braden Point played a good game last night. The stats probably could say JJ Moser looked good last night. Can anybody honestly tell me that's what they saw? Honestly. Not good enough. Not good enough. What's up to Ashton and Ty and everybody on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everybody? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. You know, everybody wants to say, whoa, well, you're not tough enough. Oh, blah, blah. We just want to be tough. I told you guys last year. And I disagree with Coop. Even he said, oh, we weren't tough enough. What does that get you? You were the most penalized team in the regular season. Then you take 4 offensive zone penalties in game 1 of the playoffs and you lose 4-3 in overtime. It's not about being tough. It's about being good. You got to be good. Good offensively, good defensively, good between the pipes, good on special teams. You have to be good. If you're not good, you're going to be home. You're going to be playing golf. Enough of this talk about being tough. So dumb. Stupidest shit ever. You're a hockey player. Of course you should be tough. Do you think the Lightning weren't tough last night? Honestly. All those freaking geniuses out there. The Lightning have to be tougher. All right, were they tough last night? They looked tough to me. They still lost. Man. We're always like, people are just scared to talk about the real shit, man. It's the same old thing. Rays, Lightning, Bucks, everybody. Use your eyes. Stop listening. Stop being a sheep and doing and saying what everybody else is saying. It's so lame. Have a different opinion. You don't have to be a contrarian, but think for yourself. Watch the game. Did Dobish play better than Vasi last night? I think he did. He's another guy. Those pucks have to be stopped. Josh Anderson's goal, you heard it on Henrik Lundqvist, said it during the broadcast last night. He was playing the pass and playing the shot. Is that on the defense? Yes. Did Vasi have to pick something? Yes. Now, people want to say, oh, there's nothing. Benny says, Greg Linelli said there's nothing to worry about, Jay. See, series don't start until a team wins one on the road. Y'all watch the game last night? Lightning lost. Montreal won on the road. Do I have faith that the Lightning can come back and win this series? I do. Because I wasn't too impressed with Montreal. They had trouble getting the puck out of the zone. They didn't really generate a lot of offense outside of the man advantage. I mean, the goal that they scored with Josh Anderson, I mean, that was a puck that literally just came right to him out in front. Vasi kind of had a 2-on-0 down low. Other than that, like, there wasn't a ton of grade A chances. The Lightning have to get back to doing the little things. Doing the little things. It's like that in every freaking sport. Do the little things. I'm sick of watching this team be front runners. I'm sick of watching this team do well in the regular season. I'm sick of everybody acting like they know what's going on with this team and trying to come up with this big, crazy equation of what they have to do. No, they just have to play better. They have to play better. Your best players have to play better. Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Andrei Vasilevsky, you have to play better. Victor Hedman is not coming back for this series. I don't know that for a fact, but I wouldn't think so. Chan again with the $5 super chat. Thank you. That's the scary part. The Habs didn't look that good, but they won on the road. I think that bodes badly for this team. I don't know, because every game is different. Dustin, what bothers me the most is that I now have the expectation that Bulls aren't going to find a way in these close playoff games. Zero confidence heading into that OT. That's got to change. Greg Cruz, thank you for the kind words. Here's the thing. Presto here on TikTok. Gonzo was the only guy last night that really impressed me. Yeah, I'm with you. I like how Gonzalez played last night. But he's got to shoot the puck too. Nick Paul's got to shoot the puck too. The fact that this team doesn't win at home, the fact that this team doesn't win in overtime, like the patina, the shine has, or the patina is on there. The shine has worn off of this team. And I'm not like one of those pessimistic people, the sky is falling. Like I feel like one of the worst things that you can do in sports is say something nice. Well, one of the worst things that we see in sports is like somebody says something nice about a team or a player, right? And it's like, oh, you think everything is good. No, not at all. No. Nor is the opposite true. If you say something bad that everything's going to suck and they're going to lose and everybody should be fired, no. But if you're just going to wallpaper over all these things, right? And just act like everything's going to be fine. You don't know that. You don't know that. You know what I do know? This team's record the last couple of years at home and in the playoffs and in overtime has been horrid. Horrid. You know what's a fact? Andre Vasilevsky, who could win the Vezina Trophy this year, I think he got outplayed last night by Dobish. You want to know what else is a fact? Braden Point was not a factor last night. You want to know what else is a fact? Nikita Kucherov hasn't scored a goal in his last 16 playoff games. Stop me when I'm telling lies, to quote CM Punk. Stop me when I'm telling lies. Victor Hedman being around, is that a good thing? If he's okay to play and he's not playing, and people are going, well, why? He looks like he can play. I don't know what that whole situation is. I do not know what that situation is. But it doesn't look good. You got to win this game. This game too. And the one great thing about the Tampa Bay Lightning in the past is they've been able to go on the road and that us against, the world mentality. But, man, that shit changes, man. It changes. We fall into these habits. What's up, Nelly and Presto? Point got to stop spinning back looking for a pass entry. He's got to make a cut to the damn net. Yes. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I'm always honest with you. We get to a point in sports, and everybody's at fault for this. We get to this point in sports where, and I think this is how we are in life, is we live in a comparative society. You always want to compare things. You want to compare your new job to your old job, your new house to your old house, your new car to your old car, your new girlfriend to your old girlfriend. It's just the way it goes. We live in a comparative society. We also live in an analogous society. We always want to try to that reminds me of this. This line reminds me of that line. This quarterback reminds me of this quarterback. But that's lazy. It's lazy because you know what you don't do? You don't judge what you see right in front of you. And you got to take it for what it is. Here's an example. We keep talking about the Bucs and how great this defense is and how resilient this team is. And we keep comparing it to the team that won the Super Bowl. And then every single year, there's less and less players from that team on the one currently structured right now. And you lost two of the biggest pieces in Mike Evans and Levante David. So you can't compare this Buccaneers team to that one, which is now 6 years running. Because your quarterback's different. Your head coach is different. A whole slew of your players are different. Those numbers dwindle. You have to reestablish a new identity. You cannot just hang on to yesteryear. You're like a person at a frat party talking about how you were the varsity quarterback and you were the homecoming king. You can't keep doing that. It's like the Tampa Bay Rays telling us that they pride themselves on pitching and defense when they just traded away two starters in their mid-20s because they couldn't get the best out of them. And now Taj Bradley is striking out 10 and Shane Baz is signing a contract extension. And they're one of the worst defensive teams in baseball. Why are we comparing them to teams 5 or 6 years ago? That's not them. People want to sit here and compare this Lightning team to the team that went back-to-back. They're not the same team. Steven Stamkos is not walking through that door. Neither is Mikhail Sergachev. Neither is Andre Palat or Alex Killorn. This is a different team. This isn't the team that went to 3 straight finals. You know what this team is? This is the team that's lost in the first round the last 3 years. Everybody, when it comes to sports, gets too damn nostalgic. Oh, I remember this or I remember that. This is a what have you done for me lately sports world that we live in. This is a what have you done for me lately life that we live in. And if your head is in the clouds, you're not being real with yourself. Because after watching that Lightning game last night, that did not resemble a team that looked like they were going to win the Stanley Cup. That resembled a team that just got bounced in the first round the last 3 years. Take off your blue color glasses and judge this team for what it really is. And it's not up to us. It's not up to us because that's not an opinion. It's fact. It's up to them to change our minds. All right, let's bring him in. It's the one and only from Waldorf College, our guy Ian Beckles. What's up, brother? How are you?
How you doing this morning, sir? And here's another fact. If they continue to take stupid penalties in the playoffs, your playoffs will be very, very short.
Right.
You could hear it in John Cooper's voice. It was just disappointment. Like, come on, fellas. You played a whole season. You're gonna wait till the first round of the playoffs to be idiotic and just play stupid. They didn't play very smart yesterday.
No, and I mentioned this before you hopped on. I talked to Braden Coburn last night. He goes, Jay, I don't even think Coop was mad. He may be disappointed, but he wasn't mad about those penalties. He said he was mad that they couldn't stop them. And Coop got that look like we knew what they were going to do. That's the thing in football. Beck, you and I talk about this a lot, and especially because of how important it is to run the football, right? If you're a running football team, you run the football, not when it's convenient. You run the football when the other team knows you're going to run the football and you still gain yardage. That's what the best teams do back in any sport. You know what's going to happen. Ohtani, Judge, McDavid, right? Like all sports, they know. Barry Bonds, right? Like they know what's going to happen and it still happens. I don't think they played terrible. I don't think Montreal played all that great, but again, another loss at home, another loss in overtime.
Yeah, listen, I watched the whole game, and I hadn't watched a whole lot of hockey this year, but and that's perfect. So I just watched the teams.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't matter what you're seated. I'm just looking at the two teams, and that I agree with almost everything you just said. And the whole time I've been listening, I would have thought that the Lightning were the better team, though. Okay,
Right.
I think 5-on-5, I thought they were more dominant. I mean, I thought it was pretty close. But I'm 100% on your side when you're talking about evaluating teams, and I do with the Buccaneers all the time. You think we have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year? Well, how many players do we have that are better than any of those Super Bowl years? If you can find me one, would be cool. All right, so and you can take both Super Bowl years and compare those two teams, and we can battle at how good those players are individually. There's not too many players on this year's team that could jump in that battle, okay? Because Mike Evans just left. He was old. He wouldn't even be in the battle. Levante David, maybe Vita Vea. Other than Vita Vea, really, there's nobody. Like right now, we don't really know who our number one is. Receiver. We don't know. We don't know who our number one is. So therefore, we don't know who our number two is. So whoever our number one or number two is are not going to be better than the number one or two on those Super Bowl teams. So that's the reality of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, having this conversation last week with a couple of people with the Buccaneers, with the draft coming up this week, and it is exciting. This is one of the kind of the tentpole events of the NFL offseason. But man, I don't know, man. I mean, you see the Giants make a big trade, Dexter Lawrence on the way out. That was a steep price, man. They got a first-round pick, man. A first-round pick, number 10 overall for Dexter Lawrence. And, he had a down year, but, interior defensive lineman. He's one of the best in the game. I just don't know. It might behoove the Buccaneers to trade back. I think there's going to be a lot of movement. There's like 4 or 5 teams with 2 first-round picks. If I'm the Buccaneers, I'm looking for somebody that might feel a little frisky. Maybe they want to draft a Ty Simpson and trade back because, Beck, you've been saying it for a while. Like, I don't know how close this roster is to contend. Maybe trade down, get some more picks, and just try to throw numbers at the issues then.
Listen, every team's in a different situation. Right now, the Buccaneers are not in a situation where 3 players can take them to the Super Bowl. I'm being serious about that. I mean, I could add 3 good players to this Buccaneer team, and I'm not sure they go to the Super Bowl. So that being said, if you're one of the lower, and I'm not saying that the Buccaneers don't have a great roster, or maybe I am, but the people in the middle to the lower always trade back, Jay. Always trade back because it's so silly to me because we can go back 50 drafts if you want to. I don't have time, but 10, 15, and 20 in the first round, I promise you, is not a big difference. And I don't even know if 5 10, 15, and 20,
Mm.
or a big difference in the first round. I really don't know that. So if you can get an extra first round pick, because all these teams that think they're going to improve themselves this year in the draft, they know they're not gonna, okay? If you pick a good football player, okay, last year, Ibuka, okay? Was he a great first round pick? I don't know. The jury's out, okay?
Mm.
If we draft again, will we pick him? I don't know.
Right.
So if you, okay, so Dexter Lawrence Lawrence right now, are the Giants better today? I'm gonna answer it for you, Jay. You know they're not. Okay, they're not. We don't know who they're gonna pick, but I know who they're gonna put in lieu of Lawrence. Dexter is not gonna be as good. Okay,
Right.
the buyers, should they beware? You always have to beware if you're really you're it's the future we're talking about now, okay?
Mhm.
Because next year when that first round comes back, if Dexter Lawrence didn't do that the year before, now you look like a horse's ass. But for me, Jay, I want the guy that I've seen put good NFL film on there. Period. If you can give me that guy, which is Dexter Lawrence, you can have everybody else. I know for
Mhm.
a fact he's a legitimate NFL football player. I like to start from there because everything else is unpredictable.
But I guess that's kind of the hard part, right? Is because
Yeah.
you're not paying a guy for what he did.
Yep.
You're using what he's done to try to forecast if he's going to be able to duplicate that in the future. 29
Right.
years young, not getting any younger. Last year was his worst season. So there is a buyer beware, because I think sometimes, and we see this with Bill Belichick, right? Early on in his tenure with New England, sometimes you want to get rid of a guy a year too early rather than a year too late, right?
Yeah, I think that's what's happened to the running back position. Okay, when you talk about the running back position, if you're a bad football team that drafts a running back in with the fifth pick in the draft, when was the last time a running back was a difference on a team? It's been a long time. Okay, and whoever you're going to tell me the difference is as a running back, I'm gonna give you an unbelievable offensive line behind it. Okay,
Yes.
so
2 years ago, yeah.
yeah, Saquon, sure. He was definitely a difference maker, but there was a great offensive line. There was a great
Yeah.
system. There's great people around him. But if you pick a running back,
But they
it's
didn't
going to
draft
take
him. They didn't draft him.
no, exactly. It's going to
So
take 3
it's
years
a
for
little
him
different.
to be legitimate, and he's probably going to be out of the league. So that's why I don't even want to pick a running back. That's what's so tough about the draft. Now, this year, if Dexter Lawrence has a great year this year, and they go 6-11. Who cares? Okay, so what did it do other than you paid him a lot of money to be on a
Right.
crappy football team and play well? Then the next year comes and you would have had another pick. Then you got so it's really hard to say whether something's a good pick, bad pick until way down the way. But I get it on both sides, and it's buyer beware and it's seller beware as well.
Jeremiah Love is a guy that a lot of people think is going to be a top 5 pick. And the Giants, now that they've acquired the 10th pick in the draft from Cincinnati, some people are wondering, will they go Jeremiah Love at 5? If he's still there, I know some mock drafts have the Titans picking him up at number 4 to go with Cam Ward. But the Giants obviously need to fortify that defense too. But if they can go get, let's say, a Downs or a Sonny Styles or somebody like that, and have Jeremiah Love and have a stud on offense and defense to go with Abdul Carter and Malik Neighbors and some of these other guys, it seems like they're building their team. You would stay away from Jeremiah Love though in the top 10. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Who's a stud? Who's a stud running back in the NFL right now, Jay?
Bro, I mean, Bijan Robinson.
Give me another one.
I mean, you still have to go Christian McCaffrey on there.
Okay, give me another one.
And Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's a halftime guy. So
Not anymore.
You know
Not this past year. This year he played a lot more.
Okay.
Because they got rid of David Montgomery. That's why. Because he wasn't.
He hasn't showed it to me yet, so I don't know if he can do it. Okay. So
right.
What I'm trying to get to is, boy, I tell you, that's a chance to take, man, because once again, he's going to be on a bad football team. If his offensive line is not good, Gentry. I still think Gentry's a great running back. Who cares? How do you know? The guy, Ashton Gentry.
Genty.
Genty. Do we know if he's a good running back? Okay, it may be
we
2
have no
more
idea.
years before he gets a good offensive line, and then he's going to be out of the league. I wouldn't mess with it. Not top 10. I wouldn't mess with a running back top 10.
Oh, so after 10. So you wouldn't draft a running back in the top 10?
No.
No way.
Nope. You have a bad football team. What is a running back going to do on a bad football team? What is he going to do? It's like having a great defensive back on a team that can't pass rush. What's he going to do? He can't cover forever.
So Jeremiah Love, no chance. What if Jeremiah Love falls to the Bucks at 15? Would you take him?
Then you start talking about it.
Okay.
But but once again, the Bucks aren't a terrible football team, and if you fall, it's different. It's just different because then you got to look and say, would this guy make a bigger difference than a pass rush, a good pass rusher? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to weigh things. It's not easy.
What I'm trying to think of, man, I don't even know of a running back that got drafted in the top 10 that stayed with his team and had a lot of success that didn't have us, because you think about like Emmitt Smith and guys like that.
It's been a while though.
Barry Sanders, but I mean, they never won a Super Bowl, right?
It's been a while, bro.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. When you're right though, like those teams, if those guys are good, they're not having team success until very, very later on when their offensive line gets fixed. And nowadays, like guys don't play that long, so those guys aren't going to be around enough, Beck, right? Those guys won't be around enough for their offensive lines to be good because it'll be 3 or 4 years down the road, and they've already taken a beating for the last 65 games or so.
Listen, I don't have to go back to Tristan Wirfs' draft. Would you pick any other running back other than Tristan Wirfs in the draft? Would you pick? I don't even know who was in the same draft, but there's no way any running back in that draft is as valuable as Tristan Wirfs. There's no way, not a chance.
Yeah.
To be a starting tackle in the NFL for years to come, and you can stick him out there and not worry about him. He did both sides. You give me 5 running backs, you can have the running back. Give me the tackle all day long.
Right. I wanted to ask you again. I know we touched on this a little bit with the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel situation, and she's obviously out now at the Athletic, and I just don't see he's not going to have to. This is the reason why I want to bring it up. So there's been other big time NFL, like former NFL players and stuff that say, well, how is he now going to go in front of a room full of football players and say, you guys need to stay on the straight and narrow when he's out there doing stuff like that? So how does that affect him and his role as a leader to these young football players out there? Is this one of those things that over time people will forget about it? Is this just the nature of the beast when it comes to professional athletes, men in general in this country? Like, I wonder, is it going to be that much of a difference? Because when I hear people say that, I go, okay, I see that. But then there's another part of me that, like, I take my morals and ethics and well, that's the right thing or not to do about it. And I go, he just took his team to the Super Bowl. These guys are looking at him, and I don't know. I don't even know if they really care if what he does on his own time, on his own personal life, as long as he can coach him up to get him back to the playoffs again, right? That may seem jaded, that may seem screwed up, but like I'm just trying to deal with reality here rather than what's right and wrong.
Well, Jay, I think you probably could answer this for me because you've been around me long enough. But people like, say NFL coach. It's hard for me to answer this because I don't know him. Okay, Let me say this: if Ray Rhodes did it, it wouldn't affect our locker room one iota. If Tony Dungy did it, it would. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because he didn't preach. I don't know what Vrabel preaches. I don't know if he preaches get home at 11 o'clock. I don't know if he preaches be a good man. Some people just preach be an assassin. So I can't really answer that. I don't think, and I think, and in this day and age, in this United States of America, and who's running our country, that's a silly statement to think that somebody can't lead that doesn't have a good repertoire. You know what I'm saying? Like he messed up. No, he didn't abuse nobody. He didn't hit nobody. I haven't seen anything from his wife. Listen, I didn't do it, so I'm not saying it's okay. But if you're gonna lose your job for just cheating on your wife, that's a weird thing to start because
slippery slope, buddy.
It's a really slippery slope, brother. Because I mean, just cheat on your. He didn't really cheat. He just got caught looking bad. We didn't catch him banging her or nothing like that. He just looked bad.
Yeah, the whole interlocking of the hands thing. Me and Marissa were talking about that the other day. That's not good.
Oh, they're banging.
That's not a good look, Beck.
Bad look. It's a bad look. It's all good.
He's like, hey, we're gonna interlock our hands.
Right.
Brandon Aubrey and the Cowboys reached an agreement today on a deal that's going to make him the highest paid kicker in NFL history.
He needs
$7 million per. Yo, that guy's legit, isn't he? Like,
every time he plays, I remember going, "Oh, they can't. Oh, it's Aubrey. Forget it." I mean, like as soon as you start seeing that logo in the middle of the field, you can start kicking from there, dude. And he kicks 65-yarders just like it's nothing, bro. It's weird. I mean, he's got a big leg, man.
He's to the Cowboys what Jason Light thought Roberto Aguayo was going to be. Just set it and forget it. Everything's going to be fine. Too soon. Trent Williams, $50 million deal, 2-year deal with the 49ers. He's going to stay there, which is a positive sign for them. Did you see the deal? Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do?
That dude hasn't played that much lately, though.
But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Oh boy from the Cowboys. Who was their left tackle? 77. What was his name?
Tyron Smith.
He did it for 8 years, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a left tackle and you could block somebody and you could just show up to training camp and they got to give you $30 million.
Just do whatever you want. You're good.
Just if you play 5, 6, 10 games, you still gotta sign them, period.
Did you see Will Anderson, the deal he got with the Texans? $150 million.
Huh?
$150 million. 3-year, $150 million. 134 guaranteed. $50 million for a pass rusher.
I don't know anymore, but I tell you what, it's this in this day and age, Jay. Receivers are a dime a dozen. Great pass rushers are not. Okay,
you see that more and more, right?
I mean, good offensive linemen, from what I hear, from top to bottom, and I mean from high school all the way to the NFL, they say there's a shortage of offensive linemen. It makes sense to me. It makes sense. It's just not something you can produce. It's not a natural thing.
And that's why I think, again, I go back to it all the time, like why the Buccaneers should trade for Max Crosby.
Jesus Christ, yeah. But what are they giving up, though, Jay? Are they that talented around that they can give up and get Max Crosby and not, what are we going to give up?
15th pick this year and the first round pick next year. If you're going to trade a pick where you don't
I'd have done that in a second. I think they wanted more than that.
Nah, man. 2 first round picks. That's what the Ravens was going to give them.
Then you got to pay them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Pay him.
Oh, I'm listen, bro. If it was here yesterday, I'm in. But that ship has sailed, brother. We got to bring back Joe Tryon-Trianka.
That's your guy.
That's my dude.
We should make a roster one day of your non-favorite Buccaneers of all time.
It's not I don't have a long list of guys like this.
It's longer than you think.
No, it's not.
Barrett Ruud,
Gaines Adams, Gerald McCoy, Joe Tryon-Trianka. Ain't much more. It really hasn't.
Scotty Miller.
Never disliked Scotty Miller. Didn't like the way people saw Scotty Miller.
He's in the group then. He's got to be in the group.
Like
who else
Scotty
is in
Miller?
that group?
Come on.
You didn't like Scotty Miller. Don't be defending Scotty Miller now. Because everybody's like, oh, Scotty Miller. And you would look up his number of receptions. 13.
Right?
Ian goes, you know how many receptions he had last season? 13.
It was 5.
Oh my God. All right. So what do you got? What do you got going on the rest of the week, man?
I'm going to Wednesday. I'm going oystering with a young man that I met through Jeff Hauk at the cigar bar. He said I have an oyster company. I would say I'd like to see it, and we're going to go oystering. So I love oysters. Young Marcus is going to join me. And then other than that, just hanging out here at Dignitary. The pool league, the APA pool league starts this week. So I can get all joined up and get my pool game right.
APA? What is that?
Yeah, that's Jeanette Lee's her league.
Oh, okay. Well, the APA used to be the Accolade Protection Agency back in the day with Farouk.
Okay.
Mercer's a big.
Stick it all. You shoot pool?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. And here's this mystery lady. What am I going to meet this mystery lady? She's like Vera on was it Cheers? Was it Cheers, Vera?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she's a big oyster fan too. Marissa's going to be here in 2 weeks, so we're going to come by.
Okay.
My birthday is on the 4th of May, so she'll be here for that. So
I should remember that. I should
yeah,
remember. I don't. I won't.
yeah, you should.
Nice
No,
hat, though.
you like this, buddy?
For
Look how
real.
nice this thing is, man. This thing is. It still looks good after all these
It's
years.
clean. Yeah, it's clean. It's a
My
nice
brother,
logo.
yeah, I mean, my brother made these for Ian and I back in the day. He had my brother used to work at Lids, and he had a special order Ian's hat. What size was it?
I don't like the way you said it.
8.5.
No,
Was it 8.5?
you're acting like I have a mongoloid head or something. It was just an 8, bro. And an 8. A lot of people make 8s.
Ian had a 9.5.
See? You see?
9
that's
and
how
5.
that's
Big
how
old
rumors start. That's how rumors start.
The ladies like the ladies like the brains. Oh, so everybody was asking me, I say, who are you rooting for in this series? Lightning or Les Habitants?
Lightning. It's not close.
Not close.
I've been a Lightning fan since a year after their inception. So I don't let's not do that. The only Olympics. The Olympics is the only thing I cheer for Canada, and that's it. Everything else, I'm Tampa Bay, baby.
Did you hear what Marty said about it? About the thing about like it doesn't matter that my number's in the rafters. He's like, I don't have any like really affiliation with that team right now. I'm the coach of the Canadians. Like you get it. I was like, oh, Ian would definitely get that.
Well, I mean,
he would definitely get that.
What
is he supposed to do?
What would it benefit him to toss the salad of Lightning people? He don't give a shit. He just wants his French people be behind him. He don't give a shit about Tampa Bay right now. I ain't mad at him.
Do you understand French?
Yeah, I speak French.
Do you?
Yeah. Jay,
really?
You can't get out of high school in Montreal without speaking French. Like you have to have 11th grade French to get out of high school in Montreal. Oui, je parle français. Tabarnak.
Yeah, but that's one sentence.
I speak French, Jay.
I swear to God, I've known you for so long.
Didn't know
I did not know you spoke French.
Well, I mean, I don't use it a lot. I mean, I haven't used it since '86. But if somebody's speaking French, I can understand it. I can write it. My verbal will take a while for it to come back, but I could do it.
Like it'd be one of those things like when you're around people, like 5 minutes into the conversation, you can kind of like it's like dipping your toe in the water and then you start conversing.
It'll come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked that is that yesterday I was at we were in the press conference and the first like 10 questions to Marty were all in French.
Oh, French.
And I was just sitting there like, okay. And then somebody asked something in English and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna record that one.
I got that one.
And it was back in French again, and it was like, no, oui.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oui, no.
All right.
Sacre bleu. That's your favorite French word, sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. I got that from Gambit from X-Men back in the day. Well, I'm a terrible friend. I didn't know Ian spoke French, even though he's Canadian. I'm a bad friend. At Ian Beckles Show on YouTube and also Instagram as well. Go to the Dignitary Cafe, 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Go on, get you some kava, some kratom, do a little bit of everything over there at the Dignitary Cafe. All right, Beck, appreciate it, man. Talk to you next week.
One love, kid.
See you, buddy. Good stuff as always. Ian Beckles, bad friend, as always, for me. I can't believe that. I knew he was Canadian. I knew he was from Montreal, but I didn't know he spoke French. Ask questions, people. Ask questions. That was nuts. Make sure you follow me again. Well, Fanatical, you're in here talking all that smack about Montreal. I see you. Our guy Dan Greco, she better be coming to our tournament. Marissa, she'll be at all the things when she's there. Fanatical's here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Guys, make sure you like and follow everywhere on all social media platforms. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Like and subscribe as well. I am live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. Everybody, while you're watching right now, kill that like button. Every single like helps, whether you're here on TikTok or on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hit that like button if you can, please, very much so. And a big thank you to our super chats, both from our guy Chan today. $5 super chats. That's how we're going to keep the show going. $5 super chats. And by you guys ordering stuff from the store. Get your Recher merch today. Buy the merch. You listen to the woman. Buy the merch. There's the link right there, piratesbayprinting.com. If you guys want to see what the store looks like, we can show you real fast. There you go. Got the hoodie. We got the jersey. You get your name and number on the back. We got the hats. Okay, we got a little bit of everything for everybody. And youth t-shirts, adult t-shirts. We got ladies t-shirts. We also have ladies and men's tank tops as well. I know Janet Best just ordered one as well. I know DT, David Terry, his wife, ordered one. So we got a little bit of something for everybody. So head on over there, click on the link in the chat. Everybody needs to help contribute. Couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you very, very much. Oliver Bjorkstrand, another name that needs to step up. You got that right. If he gets the call for game 2, he definitely has to step up and play a role for this team and put the puck in the back of the net. All will be forgiven for Oliver Bjorkstrand and his iffy regular season if he can come in and score in the playoffs. But before we go back to talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning, and if you have any comments, questions, concerns about the Tampa Bay Lightning and their game 1 loss to the Montreal Canadiens, feel free to put that at the bottom of the screen, and we will get you in on the conversation. But first, my friends, Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, for all your residential and commercial needs. We got the hard hat on right now. The Lightning need to put the hard hat on and get back to work. 813-244-0956. That's how we roll for all your residential commercial needs. Bathroom, kitchen renovations. You got a plot of land, new fresh build, new custom build. My guys, Honest Hammer can help you out. There's the QR code right there. QR code on the screen as well. I love this damn thing. I'm going to wear this when Marissa comes here. I'm just going to wear this and nothing else. 813-244-0956, thehonesthammer.com. Shoot him an email, thehonesthammer@gmail.com. Tell him that you heard it right here on the Jay Recher podcast and get you a discount on your work. And then, of course, Evra Health, evrahealth.org. 17 different locations in Pinellas County. They do whatever it takes to help you and make sure that you're healthy from the cradle to the grave. They take all kinds of insurance. They have a sliding scale for the uninsured. I love Ever Health, and with Dr. Carlos Rodriguez on every Thursday, how great it has been. Just so damn cool. It's really, really awesome to be able to see them do their thing. Love those guys. Really do. Fanatical, Bolts are old, slow, and Vazzy ain't who he used to be. Coop ain't coaching his way out of this one. It's one game, buddy. It's one game. We'll get to know each other over the next 3 games. Maybe that's it, right? Wear your blue tomorrow. Can't wear the other team's colors. All right. I agree with Beck. 5-on-5. We actually played a better game last night. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a long way to go. It really is. Long way to go. You got to win 4. Bolts have to win 4 out of the next 6. We'll see if they're able to do that. Again, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I definitely want to hear from you guys and your thoughts on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here is the link if you want to get in on the chat. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. StreamYard.com/KZ8X3JF870. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. There you go. I like what Ian Beckles had to say about not drafting a running back in the top 10. We'll post that up a little bit later on the channel here. Yeah, Fanatical, I said that. You're not in trouble till you lose on home ice, and that's exactly what we saw last night on the ice there at Benchmark International Arena. Let's get to some of the things today. And again, double E. Eric Erlandson, no Charlie Wardell, Pontus Holmberg, or Victor Hedman, Jonas Johansson, and Brandon Halverson on the ice. E just put out his story about the Lightning getting burned by undisciplined, untimely penalties bred of stupidity to open their first round series against Montreal. Go Bolts know they'll have to play smarter moving forward and goes beyond just the penalties. And he's right. It's not just the penalties. It's just the play overall. Getting the puck in the zone, getting the puck out of the zone. You got to play the game the right way. You have to play an honest game. You have to play a predictable game. That's something Pat Maroon has said multiple times. Play a predictable game. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you do that, you'll be in good shape. But if not, you're going to get burned. And that's exactly what you saw last night. when you watch this team against the Montreal Canadiens, I agree with Ian. I didn't see a team that was way better, right? Um, I didn't see a team that scared me other than a guy like Juraj Slafkovsky. Like, wow, that's the guy that you have to circle. Keep an eye on 20. You limit him down, all right? Well, maybe Caulfield steps up. Maybe Suzuki steps up. But I think when it comes to putting the puck in the back of the net, the Lightning have more options. They have to make it happen. Dominic James was on the ice today for practice. Emil Lilleberg finally had the cage off. No Charles-Edouard Dastou. Charles-Edouard Dastou is doubtful for game 2. That's what we just heard from head coach John Cooper. So there you go. Charles-Edouard Dastou, doubtful. One of Carlisle or Crozier likely draws in for the Bolts. That's according to Ben Pierce. Man, again, I'm not as worried about that. John Cooper, I asked him about Dominic James last night, and he said he got the scare, he got through it, and came back. Don't want to say that was the best thing that could have happened to him, but probably was the best thing that could have happened to him because as the game went on, he got better and better. John Cooper spoke last night, and again, another thing that people are talking about was how mad John Cooper was. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you didn't see it, I'm going to play it for you right now just so you can have an idea of what it was like last night to be in that room and listen to Coop. He was not thrilled at all. So here's head coach John Cooper, and you guys give me your thoughts on his sentiment and how pissed he really did look and sound. Boom. Hold on. Please hold. And go.
Question not taken across ends up being kind of different. So, did you have a problem with the penalties? Did you have a problem with the way the team approached the game?
No, I had a problem with us. I mean, come on, we did 4 offensive zone penalties. You just look at them. I mean, that's not over aggression. That's stupidity. A lot of them. So that was on us. That was a game that we just gave them an opportunity to win. And this is the Stanley Cup playoffs. This isn't game 62. So that is extremely disappointing in the way we, listen, conducted ourselves in the amount of penalties we took. Now let's be honest. What did we go 3 for 6, whatever it was? So if you're going to kill penalties off at 50%, then you're probably not going to last very long. But if you kill penalties off at 50% and you only give up 2, so it's 1 for 2. Okay, well maybe you can survive, but you can't let that happen. So that's on us. There's no excuses.
Coop, Dominic James' first game in a while. He leaves and then comes back. What can you say about the determination?
Had the scare, and he got through it and came back. Don't want to say that was the best thing that could have happened to him, but probably was the best thing that could have happened to him. So, because as that game went on, he got better and better. So, great seeing back just for him and the experience. Super player. So that was good.
Last year, Pierre.
And John, your players yesterday have talked a lot about really wanting to set the tone in the series after falling behind before 2 years in a row, game 1. Obviously, this is different than a year ago in terms of this being an overtime game, flipping the coin, but still now having to chase and how frustrating is that?
Listen, game 1s are game 1s. I've been a part of a series where we won them and lost the series, lost and won the series, and everything between. So that isn't as much a concern as how we lost it. And so if that's going to be the way we keep going, this series may not go as long as we thought. Now, do I think we've got better in us? I do. There's some good things that we take from tonight, but it was, ultimately we're down 1-0, and now we got to win 4 of the next 6. So there's been taller tasks. Gosh, I've been in series where we we lost the first two and come back and win. So it's this isn't this fight no means to die or anything, but sitting here 15 minutes after a game, ticked off. So. What's that? Who? I'm sorry.
We're fine.
Yeah, Ben. No.
Benny got that. No, we're not going to go to Ben. That wasn't a good look. Didn't like that. Didn't like that for my guy Benny for on behalf of Coop, but Coop was clearly not happy last night. Sorry, it was a little low. Very, very quiet. Sorry, guys. I just did that to piss off Fanatical. That's the only reason why I did that. It's so awesome. I got you, buddy. It's so weird to do that because like sometimes if you get too close, you can't hear it. Sometimes if you're too close, you can't hear it. If you get farther back, you can hear it. Then you can't ask questions. It's a pain. It really is. Okay, so what John Cooper was talking about was just being so upset about not only the penalties and also not being able to play strong on the penalty kill. And I tell you what, this is another peek behind the curtain, another thing that not many people are going to be talking about today, but the Montreal media was not happy last night. The Montreal media was not happy with how the post-game press conferences and scrums were conducted. Now, again, this is something you're not going to hear anywhere else but here today. The way that the media is done in the Tampa Bay Lightning stratosphere, okay, you know who the people are that are asking the questions, right? Ed, Eric, Deandra, Corey, myself, Ben Pierce, Gabby, Julie, right? Same crew, pretty much. Tom Layberger. So whatever they say kind of goes, right? Like you don't get at, like, you don't want to kind of bite the hand that feeds you type of thing, right? And especially with somebody like myself, where it's like, I need the access and Eric needs the access. We don't have the access, or you ruin that type of relationship. That could be a problem, right? So if we ask for 3 guys and they only give us 2, it's not like you're going to complain to a higher power or something like that, right? Because you don't want to ruin that relationship. But last night, having John Cooper only speak for 3.5 minutes and the Lightning only making Brandon Hagel and Corey Perry available, Montreal media was not happy. They wondered why we didn't hear from Jake Gensel. They wondered why we didn't hear from Anthony Cirelli or Connor Geeky. They had a lot of questions of how media is done here in Tampa Bay. And then literally only 3 people asking questions before John Cooper got up and left the seat and then declined to take Ben Pierce's question. It's rough, man. That's not really the best way to do business. And I wonder if it's going to change going forward. It ain't going to be anything that we said. But, you know, with Montreal and Marty's not, like, it always just seems like Coop's just trying to get the hell out of there, right? And I know, and like Benny's saying here, Montreal media is used to having all access. We're not insane about hockey here like they are. I mean, in a situation like that, I don't quite know what's going on in that situation and how that whole thing is going to unfold. But it's a learning process for them because it's different down here in Tampa. Again, the biggest thing that I noticed from that game last night was the fact that guys like J.J. Moser, guys like Braden Point, and a guy like Nikita Kucherov and Andrei Vasilevsky, I'm looking at those 4 guys to step up for game 2. Everybody wants to talk about the undisciplined, penalties and things like that. I doubt Jake Gensel and Anthony Cirelli are going to do that again. And Nikita Kucherov, I just don't see that happening again. But let's say they don't do that, and then they don't put the puck in the back of the net, and Slavkovsky scores 5-on-5. Then what? Right? They have to play an all-around complete game. That's the important part. We talk so much about complementary football and complementary baseball and all these different things about how you have to make sure that every single aspect of your game is top-notch come postseason time, or you're going to be going home. That's it. That's not opinion. That's fact. And for this team, and I brought this up to Double E last week, like, what happens, guys? I'll ask you this. What happens if the Lightning lose this series? What happens if the Lightning get swept in this series? What happens if the Lightning lose this game in 5, in 6? Is it okay if they lose it in 7? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. And it's scary. It's scary because this team, there's a lot of people out there that had the Tampa Bay Lightning as the team that was going to win the Stanley Cup. Can't do that. You can't play like that. You can't expect to lose games at home and games in overtime and think you're going to win the Stanley Cup. It's not the way it goes. Playoff hockey challenge. I forgot about the playoff hockey challenge. Show the groups. All right. The J. Recher pocket. We had 20 people sign in. Okay. All right. So we have here. I'll share the screen with you guys so you can see it. All right. So we have Jones Bones, Costa Rica Flyers. That's definitely Greg the Cruz. ESPN fan Vegas, Garlock. Okay. DT Wrecking Crew. Okay. Tampa Mama fan, the AFHS Pat, Connor, me, New Crack City. Marissa's in there, sister of Benny, Steve Garner, Bolts fan Benny. It's weird how this one looks different than the other one. One's on the last, like I could tell, like who's who. This is a different setup than the other one. The other one had like the person's name on the bottom, so I knew like, oh, there's Benny. I know Benny's last name. Finally. Wow. So a bunch of Lightning. We got Carolina, Philly, Vegas, Buffalo, Colorado, Edmonton. All right. There you go. That should be fun. We'll see. Only 20 peeps. It was a late kind of thing, too. Benny Garlock is my brother-in-law. All right. I love that. Cooper's gone. He's the best coach who has lost the most. Oh, fanatical. Okay. Cooch leaves after next year. Cooper's safe, but rest of the staff gets chained up. Some big names on the roster gets moved. Semi-rebuild. Yeah, I know, bro. You saw Nick Wise's tweet. I've been saying no goals in the last 16 games for the last 2 years. Cooch isn't leaving after next year. They're going to sign him to an extension in the offseason. Jay Canes or Sens, I'll have to go with the Canes. I think that's going to be the way it is. There's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered if this team does not win this series. Because I don't agree that this is a team that, all right, they're going to lose and then, everything's going to be okay and you run it back again. Do you? And does John Cooper want to run it back again? Does this team, everybody's like, they'll get rid of all the when does that work? Go ask the Buccaneers. Does that work? Oh, yeah, just change all your assistant coaches. Then what does that tell? You're the head coach. You're the ones that brought him in. CJ Hall, I'm not so sure, man. If we're a first-round exit again, I can see pulling a Mike Evans and going to a contender to chase one more ring. I'm going to tell you why not, CJ. You know what Nikita Kucherov likes? It's privacy. If Nikita Kucherov goes to a place, they're going to want him to do media. They're going to want him to do interviews. They want him to do all these things. He don't want to do any of that. He don't want to do any of that. He wants to stay here. He wants to fly under the radar. He wants to do his own thing. That's it. He's not going to go to a big market at all. Go to Utah, maybe, with Sergey, maybe. I could see that possibly, but right now he's got whatever he wants. He can go to Brandon and skate whenever he wants. For him, it's going to be about comfort. If Cooch gets 120, 130 points and he's in the playoffs every year, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to be able to work. And I asked Eric Erlinson, I said, what do you think Cooch is going to do after his career is done? And he said, I think Cooch is going to be a skills coach. And I went, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Guy like Adam Oates that's worked over the years with different players, Steven Stamkos being one of them. I could see that. I could see Cooch kind of traveling around the country or around North America and having people maybe come to Tampa and work with him. And the way he's able to get the puck off the boards, like he's an interesting cat. Chan says Bagel, Vazzy, Cooch, Point, Gensel, the only untouchables in my opinion. Maybe Radish, but we can't afford him after the season. I don't know. I don't know how this whole thing goes, to be honest with you. Because you paid J.J. Moser. And out of all the defensemen the last 6 weeks, you could argue that he might be the worst one that we've seen. So, not good. Not good. Frosty, JBB has been pretty sus as of late, too. Getting Bjorkström was another dud. Yeah, but I thought Yanni Gourde played good last night. And it's good to get him back. And Bjorkström, I don't know if it was one of those moves where people were questioning at the time. Because Bjorkström is a guy that can really shoot the puck. Not the way that we know that a Stamkos, a Pasternak, an Ovechkin, a Zibanejad can shoot the puck in the circle like that. But this is a guy that scored big goals in his lifetime. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was in there for game 2. But don't forget about Dominic James. Don't forget about Charles-Edouard Dastou. Like those are two guys anybody could have had. Anybody. And the Lightning and JBB and his squad were able to pluck them. And they've done a good job. Fanatical Stamkos, 43 goals this year. Never should have let him leave, but that's revisionist history. Anybody want to fill Fanatical in? You want to fill him in on my thoughts on that? Anybody? Anybody want to? Nobody? Anybody? Nobody? Benny? Anybody? DT? Marissa? Anybody? Nobody wants to? Never should have let go of Stammer. Yeah, he was on 5-on-5, but he's captain material and useful on the power play. Really? Think so? Interesting. At what point does an organization like the Lightning acknowledge that annually trading draft picks becomes detrimental to the long-term viability for the franchise? That's a good point, Dan. It is harder for Lightning and for hockey. It's almost in the same vein of baseball because you're making these draft picks and then you don't see guys here in the last, in the next couple of years. You don't see them for a while. Some of those guys, you sign them and then they go back overseas. Sometimes you sign those guys to go back to junior. So it is tough to understand like the value of those draft picks. And I remember asking Julian Breezewell a couple of years ago, he said, if we trade the 30th pick in the draft, we know through our analytics that guy on average, the 30th pick in the draft is only going to give you 450 games in the NHL with at the most 45 points a game a year. I'd rather trade that for a guy that's a known commodity that I know I'm going to have for 2 or 3 years and that can put 60 points on the board. So, yeah, I mean, that's something where it's a good question. I think they've done their due diligence. I think maybe they do lean on the analytics maybe a little bit too much, but it starts at the top, man. Like it does. You let go of a guy like Steven Stamkos and you haven't won a playoff series since. Your power play has not been as solid. You'd be able to deal with the Victor Hedman situation a lot easier if a guy like Steven Stamkos was around. And everybody always wanted to say the 5-on-5 stats, the 5-on-5 stats, the 5-on-5 stats. Like, dude, the fact that you put that on Steven Stamkos when he's playing on the line with Nikita Kucherov from Braden Point and you're playing him as a winger when he's a center, like, what do you expect's going to happen? That doesn't make sense. Like, really? It was just the easiest argument to make. And then what do you do when you get rid of him? You bring in a guy like Jake Gensel, who's obviously a better 5-on-5 guy. You get rid of Sergachev and you bring McDonough. You have a fully healthy Andrei Vasilevsky. So, of course Of course, your 5-on-5 is going to be better. But your 5-on-5 would have been better too if you kept Stamkos alongside those other moves, which you could have been able to do. So that's why, like, I feel like it was kind of an easy thing to say, like, oh, the 5-on-5 is better because Stamkos isn't here. Slightly, but I think the 5-on-5 is much better because of those other reasons that I just said. Jay, what would you like to see happen in the offseason if they get bounced again? I mean, they have to fix the power play. And, we talk about the coaches, Jeff Halpern on the power play. I think he's got to make some adjustments too. Because to have the same power play with different personnel means I don't understand why it keeps happening like this. Like, we still set up the power play as if you have a right-handed shot that can shoot the puck off the pass. What did you see yesterday? Big Hagel was in that spot, and he said, just screw this. I'm going to the net. I'm going to the net and put my stick down. Gensel finds him in front, and they score a goal. Put Corey Perry on the power play. Do something different. What's the definition of insanity? Trying to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's the Tampa Bay Lightning power play the last couple of years. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And this team has to be better. No more excuses. No more like, oh, we need to be tough. It's just so weird. So freaking weird. What did tough get you in that first game? Nada. All right. So, some of the other things that I want to talk about today. Rays, a rough weekend for them, losing 2 of 3. This whole thing with Cedric Mullins, I know he had a couple of hits on Saturday and he had the home run, but batting under 200. And then you look at Jake Mangum the other day and like how well he's playing for the Pirates and just the energy that guy brought to the table. Again, you want to talk about what have you done for me lately? You want to talk about the moves that have been made. I don't know about some of these Rays moves. I don't. And after sweeping the Chicago White Sox, you lose 2 of 3 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Shane McClanahan did not look sharp. Chandler Simpson, his average is going down pretty much every day. Again, he's a 9-hitter, not a 1-hitter. Jonathan Aranda batting under 250 early on is not good. So, I mean, you look around the AL East and nobody's running away with it. But if you're the Rays, this is a big series early on in the season against Cincinnati. You're on the road for 3 more. You have an off day on Thursday, and then you have 3 games against the Minnesota Twins before returning home against the Cleveland Guardians. Don't fall into a situation where, they're home tonight. My bad. They're home for the next 6. I had that flipped. They're home for the next 6. 3 starting tonight against Cincinnati, off Thursday, and then 3 against Minnesota, and then on the road at Cleveland. So this is an opportunity tonight against Cincinnati Reds. These teams are a lot better. What's up, Billy Howard, my guy? When you're playing these teams in the Central, teams that you don't see very often, take advantage of the opportunity of them not being used to playing in the Dome, right? Get an opportunity today, right the wrongs, get on the mound. If your guy's undecided, we're still waiting. Rhett Lauder going to be on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds, but they're in first place in the NL Central. And the NL Central is kind of one of those low-key, underrated divisions where a lot of people are like, oh, they're not going to be good, or, oh, the Cubs are going to win, the Brewers are going to. St. Louis is 13-8. Cincinnati's 14-8. I like that division. There's some good teams. They play the game the right way. Right now, as we stand, the only division in baseball with every single team over 500 is the NL Central. The Reds, the Cards, the Pirates, the Cubs, and the Brewers. 14-8, 13-8, 13-9, and Cubbies and the Brewers 12-9. So it's a competitive division. And you have these young flamethrowers. You have I always feel like that's one of those divisions, the NL Central. When a lot of teams are good, you see some of the best baseball. I think the best baseball comes from that division. We've seen in the past with the Cubs, the Brewers always seem to fly under the radar, but whether it was like, remember when Willie Adames was there and that group of guys, even going before that, like Carlos Gomez and that group. Now we know what the Cubs with Dansby and Alex Bregman and Pete Crow Armstrong, and we know what the Pirates led by Paul Skeens and Bubba Chandler. We saw how good he looked. And the Cardinals, building off of that series win against the Rays to start the season, and then Cincinnati, we saw them coming last season. I really like watching the NL Central because they'll bunt, they'll hit and run, they'll play good defense. And that, in essence, going back to what I was talking about to start the show today with my team, you have to do a little bit of everything if you're going to win. You have to be able to pick it. You have to be able to play defense, and you have to be able to play offense. You got to. And there was something happened yesterday where we had a guy in our team. His name was Tommy, and really great kid, unbelievable kid. Really mature for his age, and he was on the mound in the championship game, and he didn't have his best stuff, and he was just so hard on himself that he was taking it to the plate. He was taking it in the dugout, and he was just so crestfallen and downtrodden. And I had to talk to him, and I told him, I said, listen, you have to understand in baseball, it's a game of failure. And if you ride the waves and you're going up and down on the roller coaster of emotion, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You have to maintain some semblance of even keel. You got to stay balanced. Plus, you want to be a good teammate too. Because if you're only focused on your successes and your failures, I mean, you're not really contributing much to the team in that aspect. And what do you know? The kid, 30 seconds later, was cheering on his team. He drew the walk in the final inning to get the rally started, down 3 to start the 4-1 rally. I was so proud of that young man. And to me, that is a greater achievement than a guy that goes 3 for 3. It's easy to show your strength when you're strong. But your true strength is measured when you're at your weakest. And that's what I saw from Tommy. I saw him dig deep. Love coaching that kid. But that's what makes baseball players so different than everybody else. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. It's a long season. You may not like certain coaches, certain players, but I think that's kind of like a common thread and a common theme for all teams, right? That's why people respect a guy like Todd Bowles. John Cooper, for the most part, is the same way. You don't get too high. You don't get too low. That's why I love baseball, man. It is a true test of mental fortitude. It's a true test of your internal strength. Who's going to break? Who's going to stay strong? And when your metal gets tested and you freaking come through it, man, it's like a baptism by fire, man. You feel invincible after that. That's why when baseball teams go on runs, it's so hard to quantify with numbers. That's why people at times, I think, they don't understand baseball. They don't know how to quantify why certain things happen without the utilization of numbers. Speaking of numbers, Rowdy's picked up another point over the weekend with a 1-1 draw there in Charleston. Seb Cruz scores another goal. This team just continues to churn out points. They've played 6 games so far. They've gotten a point in each one of them. After a 4-game win streak, they've drawn the last 2. So if I look at the standings in the Eastern Conference, Louisville City, they have a game in hand. They're 5-1-1. The Rowdies are 4-0-2. So you love to see that. Our guys winning. Rowdy's back in action on Saturday nights over at Al Lang. I will not be there this week because remember, Thursday and Friday I will be out. I will be on location. Rowdy's playing Sarasota Paradise. It's a cup contest, so go check that one out. So that's not a USL game. So yeah, Tampa Bay, Sarasota, 7:30 Al Lang. Go get all your information at rowdysoccer.com. Again, I will be on location Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, or maybe Thursday, Friday, Monday of next week. I got to go see you know who. Oh, it's been far too long. All right. Also, did everybody have a good weekend? I know I did. It was tiring. I'm definitely going to take a nap. I am due for an NAP, a siesta in my future. I cannot wait. But come on, what's going on here? Hold on, guys. Twitch is kind of jacked up. Whatever. Pull up. All right, things I liked, things I didn't like about WrestleMania. I finally got a chance to watch it. Oh, JSB, that sucks. Just saw all her bags being packed. That sucks. We're gonna miss her. We're gonna miss Julie. That's for sure. What an incredible impact that she had here on the Tampa Air. We're gonna talk about our weekend, hanging out at the Premier League mornings live here in a bit. But WrestleMania. Who watched WrestleMania? Did you guys enjoy it? So when you look at WrestleMania, there was things I liked, there was things I didn't like. And we'll go and we'll start with some of the things that I did like. And we'll go back and forth. So maybe I didn't like. Let's start with I didn't like. I didn't like the start to WrestleMania on Saturday. I understand that there's always going to be celebrity involvement. I get that. But the whole thing with the Usos and the with LA Knight, like against the Vision, like it was just very strange. It was very strange. Those are your tag team champions, and it was just really weird. It was really weird. It just didn't have the pop. You have I Show Speed jumping off the top rope and the Show Splash. We knew that there's things that sound so choreographed and planned, and I know it is predetermined, but there's no way that had the same pop or that had the pop that everybody wanted. It just didn't seem right. Now, the Drew McIntyre match against Jacob Fatu, the unsanctioned match, I like that. Hard-hitting affair. We know that when you look at Drew McIntyre, it looks like he's going to be going on a road now and filming Highlander. So best of luck for him as he takes time away. Let's see. I want to bring up everything else. Let me make sure that I get everything on here. Yeah, I loved it. I really thought that. Okay, so then we know that Nikki Bella was hurt, and people were wondering, are they going to take them out? Put Asuka and Kairi Sane in there? No, Nikki can't go out, but here comes Paige. And they end up winning the titles in a 4-way match against Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra. I liked it. I thought Paige looked really, really good. She looked really sharp and one of the better female wrestlers in the history. I thought it was pretty damn good. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. It felt like it was the same thing. It wasn't really anything new. Oh, we're going to take the turnbuckle pad off. It didn't really give me much. Gunther and Seth Rollins, I thought was a really, really solid match. Braun Breaker comes down, hits Seth Rollins with the spear. You know, for all this talk about Braun Breaker, I don't see it. Like, I see it, but I don't see it. And both of his spears were not great. Like, if all the people that do the spears, and it's great because he's really fast and he flies through the air, but the contact that he makes, it just doesn't seem like it's being received well. It just doesn't look clean. Ricky Saints hits a better spear than him, right? Jay hits a better spear. Roman Reigns hits a better spear. Goldberg hit a better spear. It just, Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. I felt like these matches a lot of times were very weak and just very short. It was like not terrible, but it wasn't like a blood feud. Now, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, again, night one, man, I think Bianca Belair coming out, which I thought was really cool. And I said as soon as she walked out, I was like, I think she looks pregnant. And she was pregnant. And I don't say that being mean. It just, you see it, right? Sometimes in a woman's face. And I said it to my roommate. I was like, I think she's pregnant, and she is pregnant. So congratulations to her and Montez Ford. It'll be their first child together. That's so cool. We're gonna miss the EST of WWE, but yeah, and it was cool with John Cena and being able to do that. And then the last match where I thought it would have been a great time for a double turn, bringing in Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. So what happens here is just you have Pat McAfee in there, attack before the bell, elbow by Jelly Roll, comes back wearing a referee shirt. Randy Orton RKO's him. That's kind of a face thing to do. And then Cody hits him with his finisher, and then that was it. He wins, and then Randy punts him, and then hits him with the belt. It was just okay. It didn't seem great. Like, I wasn't thrilled, and I'm not super pessimistic guy. That was WrestleMania. I didn't get it. I thought it could have been a lot better. Night 2 was significantly better than night 1, in my opinion. I think you look at what happened with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Those guys, they threw down. And Brock taking his boots off and taking his gloves off at the end. He leaves his gear in the ring. This is by far a work. No doubt in my mind, this is a work. Because here comes Brock. Remember what happened a couple of weeks ago? Hold on, guys. Remember what happened a couple of weeks ago? Gunther said that Paul Heyman owed him something. So what's going to happen? Brock Lesnar is going to hint at retirement. He's going to say that he's done. And then Gunther's going to say, not so fast, my friend. Paul Heyman, you owe me. And what you're going to do now is you're going to book me against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That is what's going to happen right there. No doubt about it. Next up was I thought the ladder match was pretty good. I didn't think it was terrible. It was okay. It would have been nice to see Ray win, but the fact that Penta retained the belt, a lot of times it's always a different winner. I thought there's a lot of good high spots. That's what you're going to get in a ladder match. So not bad. I think just exactly what the doctor ordered there. Trick Williams beating Sami Zayn was the right call. It's a weird reaction to Sami right now. People booing him, but they'll say, let's go. And he's a baby face. And he needs to either go away for a while or they need to freshen up his character. But Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, it's time. It's time to put those guys together and rekindle that flame, that rivalry from NXT. One of my favorite matches, Dominic Mysterio against Finn Balor. I think the whole entrance with Finn was amazing. To be able to see him in there as the Demon, just his mannerisms there. It's something that we don't see so much now in wrestling because of, peeling back the curtain so much and the WWE Unreal and all these different things. And I know they don't want to go back to the 1990s where everybody was a character, but it means something when the guy's just not insert regular name here, when it's not just the Randy Orton, John Cena, right? Like, it's different. There's a character to it. I loved it. Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. I did not know what to expect in this match, but I was really, really impressed with Jade Cargill. I think Jade Cargill was one of the most impressive wrestlers so far. One of the most impressive wrestlers that I saw in WrestleMania. She hung with Rhea Ripley. She was almost a step ahead of her, and I'm sure that's the way they scripted it out, but she could hang. I was impressed with Jade. She did really well. Danhausen with John Cena and The Miz and Kit Wilson, a classic comedy bit that you're going to see every WrestleMania. I'm big fan of Danhausen. And then the final match. Listen, once again, these guys put on a clinic, and it shows why CM Punk and Roman Reigns, those two guys are two of the best in the business and two of the greatest of all time. The way they went back and forth, the way that they told the story. But the only thing that I had an issue with is I had a big issue with how the match ended. CM Punk jumps off the top rope, elbows Roman through the table, which they teased earlier in the match. And you hear Roman bro, elbowed the shit out of him right in his gut. That was crazy. Very smart. Not very smart was going back in the ring, hitting him with the GTS. Then, just like Seth did in the first episode of Netflix, he falls back on Punk. And this time, Punk is too tired to lift him up. Spear, over. Really? You just elbowed him through a table. And you just picked him up. Now you can't pick him up again? You just did damage for the last 5 minutes. I thought that was a lame way to end it. So again, I don't go into wrestling events nor WrestleManias looking to shit all over them and think they're bad, but it just doesn't have the same pop. It doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi. It's just not the same, man. And it sucks because I'm still going to watch it. Still going to take time. I did such a great, I'm proud of myself. I stayed away. I stayed away from everything to make sure that I didn't spoil it. And I did a good job for the most part. But my God, I need more. I need more. It can be better. And we'll see what happens tonight because we all know that on a night like tonight, the WrestleManias after Raw. Hold on. WrestleMania after Raw. Raw after WrestleMania. There you go. Easy for me to say. It's usually the best one. So tonight, surprises. I don't know. We'll see. But your boys got practice tonight. So there we go. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Like and subscribe. You see that thing last night where all the fans were chanting? Everybody was getting, I don't know why everybody was getting so mad at me last night. Because I tweeted it out. But the fans that were mad, Lightning fans chanting USA, 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 when the team's coach is Canadian, all 3 goals are from Radish and Hagel, a couple of dudes from north of the border. It made me laugh a bit. It really did. And everybody's like, it's not funny, man. They lost the game. I was like, I tweeted this at 8:24. The game didn't end for like another half hour. What the hell's wrong with you people? But I just thought it was ironic. It was like, USA. Everybody's excited. And I'm like, what's John Cooper thinking in this situation? He's like, well, are they cheering for me? They're not cheering for me. This is very strange. And then the guy that scored 3 goals for the Canadians was Slavkovsky from Slovakia. It's very, very weird. And I understand fans short for fanatics and, people want to be passionate, but just relax. People want to take it out on me. Like, oh, you're not taking it serious. I'm not on the team. What the hell do I have to do? I showed up everywhere yesterday. Man, I would tell you what. Did you see last night or yesterday? My goodness. What happened with soccer? Manchester United on Saturday won 1-0 over Chelsea. Then Liverpool beat Everton 2-1. And then Man City against Arsenal. Arsenal was 6 points ahead with a game in hand, and they blow it after going up 1-0. Or excuse me, they went down 1-0 on a Ryan Cherky goal. A miscue by Gianluigi Donnarumma. Kai Havertz is Johnny on the spot, and he ends up scoring a goal, and then a late goal by Erling Haaland. And Arsenal, they are just 1 game away from being in second place after being in first for the majority of the season. They've bottled it again. I cannot believe it. Man City plays during the week. If they win, they'll be even on points, but they'll have a better goal differential. I mean, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, Theo Walcott, who's actually here this week for the Premier League and hanging out with the Lightning and all these different things, was saying earlier this year that this team could have beat the treble-winning team in 1999 for Manchester United. Like, really? Really? What the hell are you talking about, bro? Oh, my God, that's so sad. So sad for you. Honest Hammer, I'm way behind today, but I love the fire. Jay, the Bolts got to figure it out quick. You're right, buddy. They're right. They got to do something. It's not good enough. Fanatical Red Dragons, baby. You pay for your ticket, you can scream whatever you want. Yeah, of course. But I just thought it was kind of ironic. Last night, Paul Isabart and Darren Pupa fired off the Tesla coils. We had a VO song. We had Titus O'Neil getting everybody fired up. The on ice graphics, John Franzone and the crew do another great job. But listen, now it's up to the teams. It's up to the players now to be able to go out there and do their thing. Because if not, it's going to be a very, very short postseason run for the Bolts. All right, I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I was out at Armature Works with my good friend Julie Stewart-Binks, and we saw Premier League mornings live. There was thousands of people out there at Armature Works bright and early. We went 7:30 on Saturday, 8:30 on Sunday, and it was on fire. Great to see Brian Burns, former beat writer and former PR guy for our Tampa Bay Lightning, my former co-host on Bolts Breakdown. Anybody remember Bolts Breakdown from back in the day? Burnsy and I used to go live every single noon, every day at noon, the day of a Lightning game, whether it was home at the arena or away. We used to do it at iHeart. We had such a good time. It was really, and the impact, man, we talked to people from all around the world, Bolts Nation. That global support is truly remarkable, kind of the reach that the Lightning have. So it was good to see Burnsy. He's working with Visit Tampa Bay right now. They do a lot of good things, trying to get people to the Tampa Bay area. So it was great to see him. And to be able to watch and sit next to Alan Shearer and Theo Walcott. And it was kind of random that Corey Kluber was there, former Ray, former Yankee, former Cleveland. He was a Cleveland Indian, not a Cleveland Guardian. So that was fun. But, man, Tampa Bay showed out. They couldn't even let more people by the stage because of how many people were there. It was like one person out, two people in. And to see the whole crew, Tim Howard, Robbie Musto, Robbie Earl, and the wonderful Rebecca Lowe. Rebecca Lowe was there. It was so funny. Julie and I were walking out at one point, and Rebecca Lowe stopped. She hugged Julie, and she started touching her face. She's like, "You are real." Because I guess they've only seen each other like through computer screens and working together during the pandemic. And Tim Howard gave her a hug. And then on Sunday, we were back again, and then we were hanging out with Mackenzie and Emmy and Jeff Attinella from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They were there as well and handing out swag and taking pictures. And it was really cool to be able to see Jeff Attinella and Tim Howard taking a picture together where, Jeff Attinella, obviously our friend from Smack Apparel, and what he does with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's USF, Rowdies, MLS, and now back with the Rowdies. Jeff is one of those true success stories from our Tampa Bay area. To be able to see him and Tim Howard together and to see their picture being taken, like that was it was a really cool moment. And you don't know how things are going to go off sometimes. You don't know, is it going to be a success? Is it going to work? It definitely worked. You should be very proud of yourself, Team Tampa Bay. Team Tampa Bay, stand up. You guys absolutely crushed it. Really, really cool. Fanatical, name all NHL team names that don't finish with an S. How many are there? You going to tell me how many there are? If you tell me how many there are, I'll guess them. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, whether you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everything, hit me up. Kraken's one, Wild's one, Avalanche is one, Lightning's another. 4. Bada bing, bada boom, real guy in the room. How you done? Did I leave anybody else out? Kraken, Lightning, Avalanche, Wild. That's 4. That's everybody, right? Mammoth. 5. There you go. 5? I think it's 5, right, guys? Could be. Could it be? We are naming them. We're working together. You got that right, buddy. I love it. I love it. Guys, make sure you contribute via the super chat like Chan, $5 each. Share the roses, share the likes on TikTok as well. And guys, make sure you are contributing, buying merch, buying merch from the show. Every little bit helps. No, I am not going to Montreal. If the Lightning advance, I'll probably go to the rest of the playoffs, but not in the first round. not quite yet. Not going north of the border. It is not cheap up there, my friends. So get your Jay Recher podcast merch today. We're working on some lightning specific stuff as well. Kucherov is a regular season merchant. Benny, that's not nice. That is not nice. You want him to be able to get in there and do his thing with Braden Point. If those guys don't pick it up, this team is going to be in big, big trouble. Big, big trouble. And it's not just them. It's got to be everybody. Jake Gensel, Anthony Cirelli, Brandon Hagel has to continue to do what he's got to do. Brandon Hagel seems like the guy that is really the straw that stirs the drink for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's the guy, no matter what happens, he's going to give it his best. And you never question the effort for him and Cirelli. And, watching that game last night, you can just tell the difference between playoff hockey and regular season hockey. It's just a completely different animal. It's not the same. And you see Nikita Kucherov taking the body last night. You saw the crazy hit when, who was it? Evans and Ryan and Josh Anderson crunched Charlie Wardestew behind the net. Those guys were flying around the ice. Big hits. Lilleberg had a couple of big hits. McDonough actually had a big hit on Juraj Slafkowski as well. But it can't just be about that. You can't evade or you can't leave what you're doing just because you want to be physical. You got to take part in the entire game. And that's the problem, I think, with the Lightning is finding the right play. They built this team to go up against the Florida Panthers, and now they're not even in the playoffs. And I was wondering if that was a cause for concern. Are they focused so much on beating a team that may not even make the playoffs? And they didn't. And they didn't. So now what? If what you do does not work, then is it worth it? Because right now, this Tampa Bay Lightning team has lost another game at home and another game in overtime. And where was the optimism for you when it comes to the Tampa Bay Lightning before the game yesterday? Probably decently high. It's significantly lower now because it's hard if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan for you to kind of look at what went on last night and not think, here we go again. And I don't think that makes you a pessimist whatsoever. You can only judge this team based on the most recent play. And it was losing in the first round to Toronto, losing in the first round to the Florida Panthers twice. And your top guys have not been your top guys other than, we'd say Brandon Hagel. Got to be different. And I'm very curious to see the change for game 2. I would think that Dominic James is still going to play. I would think Oliver Bjorkstrand slots in for Connor Geekie. See if you can get a couple, some more scoring. Connor Geekie, I think, is probably going to be held accountable for that reckless offensive zone penalty. And this is a good example of, you can treat everybody fair, but you're not going to treat everybody the same. You're not going to say Gensel, Cirelli, or Kucherov for their penalty, but you may do that for a guy like Connor Geekie. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Now, obviously, the Lightning weren't the only team in action this weekend when it came to the playoffs. You look at starting on Saturday, the Hurricanes with a 2-0 victory over Ottawa. I was like, all right, Ottawa, going on the road, 0-0 going into the first intermission, and that's what Carolina does, man. They wear you down. They keep it to the outside. They shoot from everywhere. They get goals from Logan Stanghoven and Taylor Hall. Freddie Anderson only makes 22 saves. It's kind of crazy that Brandon Bussey didn't play with after how well he played. And I get it. You go with the experience of Freddie, but as well as Bussey played, a little surprised. Probably the big surprise over the weekend was the Minnesota Wild and how they easily handled the Dallas Stars 6-1. That 3-goal outburst in the second period really changed the game there. And Wallstedt was good in goal, but man, Kirill Kaprizov with a goal and a couple assists, Matt Zuccarello with 3 assists. And I don't know about your brackets, guys, but that's the reason why I have Minnesota going all the way in the West. I just really like the construction of their team. Going out and getting Quinn Hughes was a huge move for Bill Guerin. And what if Minnesota wins, and I'm sure the GM of the year will probably be voted on after. But you want to talk about a guy that did his thing this year? How about Bill Guerin with Team USA and the Minnesota Wild? Now I get it; it's only one game, but man, they look good. You go into a place like Dallas and you win 6-1. That shit doesn't happen by accident. No sirree, Bob. And then also the last game Saturday night, which was another tough one. Flyers and Pens. Martone is no joke there for Philly. And Rick Tocchet. Somebody was asking me who I think the coach of the year should be. I think it was Phil. Phil said, who do you think the coach of the year should be? And Deandra and I both said Lindy Ruff. And Coop will probably get some love too. But he said Rick Tocchet. He said Rick Tocchet. And that's a good one. It really is. Who saw that from Philly? I mean, Buffalo was a team that, you know, they had talent and they just kind of blew it every year. They kind of blew it at the end. A little different. Now, seeing what Philadelphia's been able to do, people thought they were at least a year away. They're not. Flyers win that game 3-2 Saturday night. And then on Sunday, obviously, we've been speaking a lot about the Lightning and the Canadiens. The Avs with a 2-1 win over the Kings there. I know a lot of people out there, even though they won, they weren't that impressed with Carolina. They're pretty chalk the rest of the way. The Bruins, after being down 1-0 through 2, they score 4 in the third to beat the Bruins 4-3. That series is a long way from over, but Tage Thompson doing what the best players need to do, stepping up and putting the puck in the back of the net. Utah, they were up 1-0 over Golden Knights, but then again, you wear them down. I think the experience shines through the farther along you get in a playoff game. And the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Utah Mammoth by a score of 4-2. And they got some depth scoring too from Nick Dowd and Colton Sissons. And then we also saw some NBA action. The playoffs started. I was very happy about the Knicks winning on Saturday. They're back in action tonight at 8 o'clock against Atlanta. Cannot wait for that one. And then I know they were screaming out F Trae Young, which was funny because when I was like, yeah, screw Trae Young. And then I'm like, wait a second, he's not on the Hawks anymore. Knicks win 113-102. I think they sweep that series. Atlanta may get one at home. I was really impressed with the Lakers with no Luka Doncic, and I know Houston didn't have Kevin Durant either, but LeBron James turning back the clock, 19, 8, and 13. My guy Luke Kennard, who they were able to bring in, really set the tone for that team. That's a big win for the Lakers. And who knows? That's going to be a tough out for anybody. They've gotten more versatile. They're relying on a bunch of different guys. The way that they constructed the roster when LeBron first got there versus how they're constructing the roster now, when they have a lot of different bodies that they can throw at you, and they have Jackson Hayes and they have Rui Hachimura. They just have more guys that can handle the basketball. They have more guys that can work down low. We know what Jake LaRavia and obviously Austin Reeves, and then when Luka comes back, we'll see. We'll see with the Lakers. I like what I saw from them. The Cavs win 126-113. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell leading the way there with 32 points, and Nikola Jokic. Wash, rinse, repeat. Nikola Jokic with another triple-double, 25, 13, and 11. Ant-Man can do whatever he wants. It's going to be tough for anybody to beat the Nuggets if you're not the Thunder or the Spurs. Like, you're just looking at that team. What are you going to do if you don't have a big man that could stop the Joker? I mean, and Minnesota's got a couple, and they still have trouble beating him. Celtics blow out the Sixers, 123-91. Jason Tatum back. We know what he's been able to do. I tell you what, the big upset, not Thunder over Suns, Robert Cochran, but the big upset, the Pistons, 112-101. They lose to the Magic. I told you I wasn't sure about the Magic, but they found the gear at the right time. They've dug deep. I got a lot of respect for what I've seen from Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter, and the boys. Cade Cunningham did go for 39, but listen, the Magic showing that Jamal Mosley, who I think a lot of people thought was on the hot seat, bro, you go in there and you beat the number one seed. Bro, ain't nobody going to say that you need to be fired. And then the Spurs, 111-98. Victor Wembanyama goes for 35 points. So I love it, man. I love all of these different playoff matchups. They're so intriguing. Pretty chalk across the board. Not a ton of upsets, but we'll see what happens. That's the great part about it. After one game, and thank you, Fanatical, for the kind words. After one game, you think you know the way a series is going to go, right? But you just don't know. That's why it's a 7-game series here in round 1 of basketball and hockey. And mention Marty St. Louis. Marty St. Louis did a really good job, and I'm very impressed with Marty. He's very stoic. He's not a guy that he's another one. Again, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And I know a lot of people try to make, these big, comparisons. Oh, Marty, how's it feel to be back at the arena? Like, he's been here so many times before. He came back as a player when he was with the Rangers. He's come back as a coach many times now with the Montreal Canadiens. It's different. This is a different place than when he left. His number will always be in the Raptors. We'll never forget what he did to bring the first Stanley Cup here. But now he's the head coach of one of the biggest teams in professional sports with the Montreal Canadiens. And right now, he did his job. Your job on the road is to win one of the first 2 games as the visiting team. That's exactly what he did. Don't tell me that he has nothing to do with the development of Slavkovsky and Caulfield and Suzuki. Very impressive. Very impressive. And the Lightning better pick it up. They better pick it up. The series is far from over. But you're lying to yourself if you're telling me that you like what you saw on Sunday night, because I sure as hell didn't. No, sirree, Bob. All right, guys, this is going to wrap it up for me. The post show will be over on TikTok. Head over there now at Recher. The post show over on TikTok tomorrow. We will be live from Benchmark International Arena, so that should be fun there. I'm gonna go take a nap after the post show because I'm a little tired. Long weekend. A big thank you to Ian Beckles for joining us on the program. Follow me at Recher on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Like and subscribe on YouTube as well. A big thank you to our partners, Honest Hammer Custom Builders and Evra Health, and of course Chan with the $5 super chats. 2 of them. You are the man. Thank you, my good friend. Head on over to TikTok right now at Recher. We'll continue the conversation there. If not, we'll see you tomorrow at noon right here on the Recher podcast. I'm gone.